too nerve-wracking. I suppose nothing's happening.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Full Velocity TV here live tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway 1970 version here with the guys over at HOBO Racing. Apologize, everybody, for the issues of delay in the stream. Just for whatever reason, had to go behind the scenes here on my end and try to pop this thing live and suspend an absolute trying night here for our Full Velocity TV dual streaming once again on a Saturday night. Apologize to the guys at HOBO that we're behind, but we are here. The Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 1970 mod. Phil LaCasse here, along with my broadcast partner tonight, Mr. Josh Boyer, pledged to be alongside here tonight in the booth. And got to thank Mr. Jack Truman down there running the controls for us here tonight. It's been just a frantic night here. But, Josh, we are on lap number 18 of the race, finally getting the video feed rolling here. The stream's been going for about 20 minutes. For some reason, YouTube just decided it didn't want to pick it up on our end, so we had to scramble to get that rolling. But I think all locked and ready to go now. Lap 18 in, Herman Reese leading Jeff Rogers, Ron Simpson, Roger Nebelsick, and Steve Rubino, your top five. Josh doing some spot duty here. Welcome to Full Velocity TV, brother. Usually see you out there on the racetrack, but cool to have you alongside of the booth. Welcome aboard.
Hey, thanks. Looking forward to tonight and watch these guys race and you know, hopefully can offer some input on what I see going on.
Well, certainly appreciate all that value and support indeed. Great to bring a new voice into the conversation. Great to get this thing finally out to the airwaves. Apologize to the guys at HOBO. Delayed them a little bit, trying to... Things worked out on the scene here tonight. As you can tell, you usually have Todd standing at the controls. They were over on a live feed over on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, and we fired up the live stream over here at HOBO here for the NR 2003 side of things. That's exclusively on YouTube tonight, and whatever reason the stream, everything was grabbing on this end, just could not get video display out to you guys, but I think we're now all systems a go. Hopefully the volume is all coming in clean on your end, and thanks to all you out there watching here tonight live on Full Velocity TV. GN70 mod here live at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 1970 version. Jeff, what makes this, or Josh, what makes this track a little bit different? You know, being a 70 version, of course, the old layout, but how do, you know, looks like the groove maybe a little bit wider. Racetrack looks to be a little bit more banked than I ever remember it. What are some nuances to this version of the Speedway you may have recalled on? I know you got more laps here than I do.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice change from the modern day Atlanta. You know, it's a more traditional oval. You know, you don't have the kink in the straightaways or anything like that, but it definitely does have, it looks like a couple lanes working here tonight as we watch the cars drifting up a little bit, using about lane and a half here. So hopefully that will cater to some good racing. You know, guys be able to get some runs and make some passes here. You know, these old cars, they drive different, and you know, these guys hopefully will put on a good show for us.
Well, so far so good. Up front, we find Herman Reese with Jeff Rogers, Ron Simpson, Roger Nebelsick. Those four drivers are pulling away 3 seconds over the field, working lap number 22. Apologize, y'all be watching out there live on Full Velocity TV. You know, if the scroller took a dump on me or whatever it is, but hopefully at least bringing the soundtrack, keep you up to date what's going on. And appreciate us all being aboard. A battle for the second spot going on the racetrack now as the 91 of Rogers sliding up the hill. Ron Simpson's number 25. He's going to slide to the low side. They were talking in practice here, Josh, how they said the low side seemed to be quick, but it was a little bit loose coming off. Looks like no problems there for Ron as he's able to make the pass on Jeff. Put Ron up to second there as they head down the backstretch.
Yeah, if you notice also, it looks like Rogers taking a little bit higher line into the corner and then coming down. I wonder if a faster line for him and see the 91 coming up high again. So interesting to see the different lines coming on like we thought maybe we see, and they're making passes. It's good.
So far, so good, but we're going to be under yellow flag here. We've had an incident out on the racetrack. I think somewhere off of turn number 2. I did see some smoke rolling away there. I think I caught the 48 of Austin LaPlante that may have been around this. For whatever reason, they just like to slide out of view at this racetrack here as I'm going back on through, trying to kind of bring up the speed. I know I saw smoke up in front of the leaders, and I'm scrolling on back here trying to find who may have been around, because usually when there's smoke, you know, 99% of the time you see smoke, there's got to be a car around. So put us under caution flag. Believe for the second time in the event, watching lap number 24 of 99. Thanks to you all out there. HOBO Racing there tonight. The normal chat box affiliates always out there as always. Welcome, ladies. Judy's out there. Michelle's out there. Barbara's out there as always. It's always cool to come out here and see all you join us over here at Hobo, and doing the best we can with a dual stream here tonight. No, we had all the issues even getting this thing out to the video feed here. Everything was rolling at our end absolutely flawless, getting up to about 5 minutes for show time, and then you go to hit the pesky play button and something almost seems to pop up on this end. But so far, so good. Here is lap number 24. You got to think, Josh, these guys probably going to be coming to pit road. 25 drivers to take the green flag. Looks like we have Evan Castles over 55, and Manny Diaz looks like he was around here to bring out the caution flag. So we'll finish up 24th and 25th respectively. Looks like we're going to have 18 cars left to the lead lap, but you don't think tire wear in a place like this. These hard race cars, these Gina 70 cars. I mean, this ain't the old school, all the downforce, put it down to the racetrack. This is when stock cars were stock cars. This is when drivers were drivers. Heck, this was back when a snowflake was an actual snowflake from the sky and not had a reference to somebody. So
yeah, that's right.
Different feel.
Yeah, no power steering in these cars back in these days. They had to muscle those cars around. Looks like we got some problems on pit road here. Some guys kind of having to squeeze around each other.
So does the ticker don't work either. So I'm just watching these guys heading toward pit road, and they catch up to the pace car. They believe they're all going to be coming down pit road here for at least 4 tires. I think I'm a little behind in the action here as I was clicking around the replays here. Yeah, it's just a frazzled night here live on Full Velocity TV. They came off of pit road. They've all taken 4 tires up front. We'll recap and restore the field, but I can give you the lineup here of who was in the field here tonight to start the race. Just about 25 laps ago, it was Herman Reese that sat on the pole with a lap of 32.167. Ricky Bumbalo, who was really fast in practice, sat on the outside of the front row with a 32.249. Jeff Rogers, Ron Simpson, and Rob Heath, the number 38, started up your top 5. Roger Nebelsick's number 51. Daniel Rubino in the 44. Duke Sorensen's 59. Daniel Dupuis, number 24. Mike Halgrimson, the number 62, a new name to Full Velocity TV. We welcome Mike along. Joey Sigmund's number 64, started 11th with Steve Rubino's 21 car rolling out 12th. Jeff Fugate, 13th, and number 9. The number 6 of Rich Knappich, 14th, with the number 86 of Darrell Brown rolling out 15th. The number 78 of Ryan Johnson. Great to see Ryan out there in the field. Manny Diaz did roll off on the 710 car from position number 17 with Wild Bill's number 93. Great to have Wild Bill in the field anytime he shows up a Hobo. It's always just a great thing. Evan Castle's number 55 with Brendan Spatafora is number 37. This 21 car, about 21st starter with 17 was Bob Becker, old pushrod. DJ Hinsky's number 14 with Steve Grant's number 11. Rob Keller's number 57. We'll talk a bit about Rob here shortly as well with Austin LaPlante's number 48 car. So I believe it was 25 drivers took the green flag here just about 20 minutes ago. We're working lap number 27 behind the pace car here at Hobo, and it looks like Roger Nebelsick and Ron Simpson are going to lead us to green. Roger's been a little bit sneaky here lately there, Josh. He shows some good speed. Ron's been fast all year, winless through the first 3 races, but Ron comes in tonight as our series point leader by 1 point.
It's been consistent, and Roger too. He's been up there a lot this year, and with this series, he's been running really well. He's been in the hunt. Wonder what happened to Herman there. It looks like he went back down pit road for a second stop. I don't know if he maybe didn't get all the tires on or loose lug nut or what's going on there, but he's obviously dropped back to the pack. I'm not sure what happened.
Not exactly sure there. I'm trying to go back. I just kind of observed that myself, clicking back through the race standings, getting back to the live feed. And yeah, definitely something. Yeah, Herman Reese did make an extra pit stop, so maybe something definitely happened there.
I wonder if he got out of pit road well ahead of the rest of the pack, or maybe he got too close to the wall and they couldn't get those left side tires on. He'd come back in. That's could be what happened. I'm not sure.
Great observation there. And as we're getting ready for the restart, maybe I can zoom back here through my replay real quick and maybe see if Herman just completely had a brain fade coming on pit road or just overshot the pit or whatever he did. Keep in mind here tonight, Josh, pit road speed, 70 miles per hour.
Ooh, oh boy.
That's a lot faster than I think all we're used to. So you touch those brake pedals, they may get a little tad bit sensitive. It may be real easy to slide in your pit stall and maybe get those left side tires too close to the wall. Let's run back to green flag racing.
Absolutely. You got to be careful getting on pit road. And, but that's also a good place where you can make up some time. If we do get some green flag stops later in the race, you might be able to make up time on pit road if you can hit the line at 70 and keep it nice and quick down to the lane.
We'll have to see. Neville bringing it back to the green flag over Ron Simpson. Jeff Fugate now up to third with Jeff Rogers fourth and Steve Rubino. Your top five. We did see a 4-car breakaway through this first green flag run. I'm kind of curious to see what is going to happen through this second part of the run here. Now working lap number 29. You think these guys all getting some extra time on the racetrack out there in traffic, seeing how that turbulent air is going to treat these race cars. What do you think we're going to see there, Josh? We did see a 4-car breakaway, but right away now it looks like we have 4 or 5 breaking way up front. The number 78 of Ryan Johnson trying to break his way forward. He just moved around Rich Knappich for, I believe, what is the 5th spot as a hit toward turn number 3, but it's a 5-car breakaway. If Johnson can run them down at maybe a Super 6, looks like he may have some draft. How much do you think draft is going to play a role tonight here in Atlanta?
It definitely looks like it's playing a big part. It looks like those guys in the back, they're side by side, they're 5th, 6th spot, and they're losing time to leader. So I think the single file draft is acting a lot like Daytona, Talladega kind of racetracks where it makes a difference. And once you go side by side, we'll see here. It looks like the 9 look down low. If they get side by side, the other guys pull away from them. Could be interesting to watch that throughout the night.
Absolutely right. And we're under yellow here once again here now on lap number 30. Looks like this one may have galloped up a couple of different cars here. I see Wild Bill's car, I think, was involved. The number 44 of Danny Rubino. We'll see if we can't get back here with some replays tonight. Not sure if got to thank Jack Chewin for stepping up tonight, doing some controls there for us. So we had a bunch of issues getting up on the airwaves here. I know that took all we could do to even get you guys a live picture, so I'm not sure what in far of replay we're going to get. But Danny Rubino and Wild Bill, both drivers involved. That's too bad there, Josh. 2 veterans of the going over here at Hobo are going to be out far too soon, only on lap number 30. Both those drivers got damaged, and both, unfortunately, behind the wall early.
Oh, that's rough. Dan's had a lot of bad luck lately, always getting caught up in other incidents, and I know he's been frustrated with the last few weeks of running, and looks like he's caught up again tonight. And Bill, we don't get to see him a whole lot lately on the track, and this is, I think, his second race in the last couple of weeks, so it's good to see him. But I wonder what happened to get the two of them together. And I saw Bino coming out of pit road after the green flag, so maybe he had a problem that he had to come in and get some work on. I don't know if he was involved in an earlier incident or what.
I don't know, and I wish I had the 70 cameras that we usually have on our display here tonight. Oh, Jack's down there showing us off all these cool race cars. Look, you get the old superchargers out there with the wing. I mean, look at all these. What a throwback. I mean, for a guy like myself who wasn't, here in 1970, really cool to see these old schemes come to life, these cool old paint jobs. Only recollection I have of these cars, Josh, is watching them through video over the years as a young child and learning about the inner beings of what was the beginnings of NASCAR. Any recollection or any experience behind the wheel of these cars, I have never, ever turned a lap in one of these GN cars. These looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, and these guys have done a great job of bringing out, some cool paint schemes to match the time that these cars ran. And I think a lot of them really embrace that historic vintage atmosphere and feel for these cars. So it's cool running around the track when you got these Superbirds and the Torinos and those cars and racing behind them and really kind of seeing and feeling like you're back in the 70s. And it's a lot of fun. And I know the guys really enjoy racing with them.
Well, they're awfully cool to see out here tonight. Unfortunately, you can report Danny's out of the race. So Danny, pop into the chat box, Dan. I'm trying to go back and see, what exactly happened to your 44 car out there. So if you got any insight to throw us out there in the YouTube chat, tell us what happened, because for whatever reason, when the cars go out of view down toward the corner that him and Wild Bill were in, they just kind of go out of my view, and whatever camera I go to capture, they just disappear out of the way. And all I saw was 2 cars and some smoke. And I don't know if Jack got a peek of that. I see Jack's got something up on the screen there. It kind of resembled some smoke, so maybe we get a view of what happened to the 44. So, either way, tough break. I now see, I think the 14 of DJ Henske has come on the pit road. A couple of guys have also come in. I see Daniel Dupuis, number 24, down. The 48 of Austin LaPlante. Rob Heath, number 38, with a great top 5 run here tonight. He's going to restart deep in the field. I believe we got lights out atop the pace car here at Hobo Racing tonight. Lights are still on, so we're going to get at least one more time around. So I want to bring everybody here up to speed of what's going on here tonight. Of course, here at Hobo this evening, we were here just a couple nights ago for the 358 Dirt Series. That was won by my broadcast partner, Mr. Boyer, up here. Well, we had a great time calling that race. You guys put a good show on. And I remember calling some car number 57, finishing up in third, It was in the game. It was listed on my screen as the legendary Danny Hardy. Got me all excited. And Josh, I think you know the story here. After the race shows up, we get up to the race channel, we chat, and I say, man, I wonder why Danny wasn't here to chat with us. And I get the old chuckle, and I hear it was our old friend Rob Keller painted up a car, forgot to change his nameplate. It was actually Rob Keller that finished up third here in the dirt on Thursday night. So I think before we get some house cleaning tonight there, we'll have to talk to Rob. But shenanigans, Josh. Shenanigans played over here at Hobo. I've never heard of such a thing from you guys.
Yeah, it was an interesting thing. We were all trying to figure out how he did that. But it sounded like he painted a car for Danny and forgot to change the name over. And so unfortunately for you and those guys, he the whole night, was just going by the name Danny. But he had a great run. He was coming too. He definitely could have been in it if we didn't have those cautions late in the race.
Well, we'll certainly have to follow along. And if we get a chance to talk with Rob here over another caution flag, we'll certainly pull him into the conversation and do a little bit of hazing. Speaking of hazing, look who's going to bring this field back to green. The 51 of Roger Nebel, sick with Ron Sips and Jeff Fugate. They are back under green flag racing. Lap number 35 of 99 going up on the book. So an extended race here tonight. These guys get some green flag racing, and this will go by fast. But any kind of caution flags, it can certainly make a race like this kind of drag out. We don't want to see these old cars pace. We want to see how these things do for horsepower. Right away, a race for fourth taking place is Steve Rubino to the inside of Jeff Rogers. Does old Steve have something up his sleeve to run here in Atlanta tonight? He's up the fourth there as they exit turn 4.
He's been running real well. I think he had a top 3 just the other day as well. So he's been running real well. So I think he's maybe got something for these guys tonight.
Certainly have to wait and see as they work their way through 3 and 4 here. Putting lap 36 on the board, and that pesky word again. Caution flag on the speedway. Yellow, yellow, yellow for, I believe, the 4th time here now. Working lap number 36 and just trying to go back and find a point of reference. And whatever reason, I'll have to get with Todd at some point because whatever reason, I've got some kind of a funky glitch where these cars just they like to blink out on my end. And it really drives me nuts that I go back through the replay, go back through the cameras, and the entire field disappears. So it completely sucks on my end trying to call the race on the professional level. I tried to hold myself to, but whatever reason, it's just not happening. And I just can't find the caution. I think I found the 62 of Mike Helgrimson that may have been pointed the wrong way, but I'm going to see if I can't confirm that, Josh. It's certainly what we're trying out here tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like, definitely was somewhere towards the back of the field based on what I was seeing. So I don't think it was a big accident. Hopefully it was just one car and not too many guys got involved.
It don't look like it was too much for sure. Looks like it was just an innocent, lazy spin, and that set the 62 car around, and that's going to put him to the back of the field. So tough break from Mike there. Is just whatever reason I don't understand it. This old finicky game. We got to remember, 60-year-old game. We try to bring this to you on the airwaves with the tickers and all the lights and the sound and the ambience and the splashy videos and the whatnot. And some nights it's just got to be stripped down and bare bones. And I feel like I can't pull my head out of my rear end for whatever reason tonight. I click back. I did see the 62 car around. I can't tell if there was contact. Really can't tell where there was because whatever reason. That they just, disappear out of my screen. All I can tell you, they've disappeared off the racetrack. Every one of the race leaders, Josh, they have all found their way to pit road. 38 laps in, why not? We've been slowed by some yellow, but why not if you can? You may risk the run of the risk of that long green flag run. If you can stay on 4 fresh tires all night, why not?
Yeah, absolutely not. Maybe did the 51 maybe stay out on the track? It looks like he might be the only guy stay on the track.
I think you may be right. I think he may have just this is Roger. We gotta understand this guy. If anybody can play games on us, it's Roger Nebel. I think also Bob Becker's number 17 may have stayed out, and I also think Herman. I think Herman may have as well.
Yeah,
so under caution. Go ahead, Josh. What do you got for us?
Herman might have had to get some track position back. We saw him head to pit the second time earlier in the race, so maybe they only had a few laps of green there, so. I think it might be worth the risk of sticking out on old tires and getting that track position back. So we'll see how it pans out for the 51 and 73.
Jack, throw Todd your team viewer. All right, well, I can definitely tell you that's exactly what Herman did. He did definitely come to pit road, so His F keys ain't working either. I had to go to the back end to mute you or to turn off your stream to start ours. Right after your winner interview.
I did notice that we also had, again, a couple cars towards the front of the pack on pit road. Looks like they were beating a bang a little bit on pit road, getting into their spots. Maybe the pit stalls are a little bit tight tonight. So we'll keep watching that, because that can definitely come into play towards the end of this race with having to get in and out of those pit stalls. Them struggling sometimes, looks like, to get in and out.
Yeah, and you come down here at 70 miles per hour on pit road, which is a whole lot faster than all of us are used to. I know I overshoot my pit all the time at, like, say, 45. Imagine double the RPMs here and stopping that on the side. I mean, you wonder how you think back to years ago when you had these 1970 cars out there, the Superchargers and the Thundercat, the Hellcats, and all that out there. Remember how those guys still go swinging into pit road at full speed and let it slide to the pit stall? I can't imagine.
No pit stops, no pit speed at all back in those days. And I was talking to one of the guys who was around one of the Cup guys with recently they'd have for the Winston. You know, they do those full speed pit stops, and they were on pit road. And they said they couldn't believe that those guys used to do that all the time. They just fly down pit road, and you know, thankfully, I think that we've kind of slowed them down now today, because this definitely, you know, took some extra attention, let's just say, to be the guys on pit road back in those days.
Communicate with him. All right, so what I do see is Bob Becker's number 17. He did pit his way out of second. He'll restart in the 21st position. The field is on the back straightaway. We're going to go green flag racing this time around. Roger Devilsick's going to bring the field back to green with Herman Reese, Rob Keller, Austin LaPlante, and Jeff Fugate going to round out your top 5, with 6 being Ron Simpson. Ryan Johnson now up to 7th. Ricky Bumbalow 8th. Jeff Rogers 9th. And Darryl Brown's up with the top 10. Keep an eye on that number 85 of Ricky Bumbalow. I think we all saw there in practice. He was really, really quick. Sat on the outside pole. Ricky's got a lot of speed left for the race car. Going to restart 8th with a single file restart. I think he'll be one of the names on the short list there, Josh. We keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got that classic paint scheme, too, going on with that Goodrich color. So maybe that'll give him a little bonus speed here as we get going back to green.
Go back to green flag racing into turn number 1 and 2. Nebelsick with the lead over Herman Reese. Rob Keller going to be the first car in the line. It's going to try to low side off of turn number 2. Looks like he'll slide back up the hill. Austin LaPlante's 48, restarted 4th. He's going to ride the top side, as well as Fugate's number 9. Jeff going to look to the low side of LaPlante as they hit turn number 3. Austin going to keep it planted up top. Fugate going to try to use all the racetrack down low. You can see off these cold tires the grip on that low side. They said it was loose down low. Well, you can see it there on the cold tires. That car got really back end tail happy. Jeff had to pedal it to catch it, but he's going to be Charger. He's going to come back to the low side. We're going to drag race out for the 4th spot, and maybe even for 3rd as Rob Keller slides up the hill. Jeff Fugate's on the move. Jeff's a guy, when it comes out there slipping and sliding on one of these tracks, that guy's a master.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely got the throttle control, knows how to get himself around the track. And these guys, I heard in practice, they're talking about when they let off the gas, the back end tends to want to get out from underneath a little bit. So the traffic, you know, we keep an eye out on that, because I think you might see some of these guys as they lift into the corners that might, you know, help loosen the car up, might end up being faster in the long run.
Absolutely right. Now I see Jeff come to the outside as Austin was able to hold him back and maintain 3rd. But now Jeff's to the outside of Rob Keller, and we talked about the outside was loose, but the outside lane, or the inside was loose. The outside lane, you can kind of hold that momentum, and that's what Jeff did right there. Drove it deep into turn number 3. Rob had to lift because that car got really loose, and that way 3-wide scenario. Ryan Johnson, 78, he's going to drive it up through the middle. Not sure that's all too advised. Can they make 3-wide work here?
It looks like they're going to try. We're having shades of Daytona here, aren't we? Wow, this is good racing.
Oh, and contact the 57 into the side of, who was that there? Oh, looks like he got into the 85 of Ricky Bumbalow. Ricky's around up in the outside wall there off the right front of the 57 of Rob Keller, and that's going to put us under caution flag on lap number 44. So you said it was starting to run like Daytona right there, but you had to remind these guys, we're in Atlanta. It may feel like we're out there at Daytona, but God, you can't hold it through the throttle like you normally would at a restrictor plate track like that. Wow.
Yeah, not enough banking to hold that line. You're going to have to be a little bit more careful. That's unfortunate for the 85. He had a good car.
Yeah, really, really stinks. And you can see the back end is all kind of all tore up as caution flag on the speedway. And I see we've had a little bit of technical expertise come in, by the way, as I think we've got a crowded trailer down there now, as Jack's done an awesome job down there tonight getting this thing all up and rolling. And as we scramble behind the scenes, Jack giving you all the cameras. And I think even Todd just flew in from the Lima Land Speedway, giving you guys a little bit of an insight there with the splash screen. Going to see if we can't get our tickers and stuff all fired up and make this thing look and sound like it should. So we apologize if a little bit of delay in the broadcast out there. No, the splash screen went up there. I think we saw a little bit of a black screen as we try to get the ticker all refired out. So bear with us here, but you're not missing nothing here under caution on lap number 45 of 99. And we'll see if the lights stay on the pace car here. Maybe, just maybe, we see if we can't grab one of these guys and bring a driver into the conversation. And, we probably got one of the best in here at Hobo. We saw Josh here win 2 nights ago. So I know you're off. You said you're out. Are you out for work? Are you on vacation, Josh? What keeps you off the racetrack and joining us here in the booth tonight?
Well, I'm in Frisco, Texas tonight. This is for work. In my real life, I'm a college band director and got a bowl game here in a few days here in Frisco. So I just flew down here to get ready for the game in a couple days, and I thought I'd be able to join you in the booth and watch the race and just chat with you a bit.
Now, I understand this right. Assistant music director for Ohio University?
Yes, sir. Ohio University Bobcats, correct.
Man, that is just that's got to be a cool job, having the traveling band going out to a bowl game. That's got to be an experience in its own right.
Oh, absolutely. I've been fortunate to. I think this is my 8th or 9th bowl game experience with the university. And last year we got the fortune to go to the Bahamas and spend a few days in Nassau for the game. And this year, not quite as exciting in Texas, but still excited to visit around here and check out the sights of a really nice area here just north of Dallas.
Well, that's really neat and really cool to have you up here in the booth tonight here live on Full Velocity TV. Certainly thrilled to have somebody to bounce our conversation off this evening. But another guy I'm going to bring to the conversation, and we're going to say this, we're going to start laughing at him. I'm going to bring our old buddy Rob Keller in. Rob was out there in the 57 tonight, and if I recall, we were at DuQuoin about 3 nights ago. And Rob, if I remember right, you pulled the old switcheroo on us, and we're out there as Danny Hardy, but it was Rob Keller finishing up 3rd at DuQuoin. So, Rob, welcome to Full Velocity TV. Way to pull those shenanigans on us, bro. That was kind of funny.
Well, thank you. You know, sometimes when you show up at the shop and, they don't want to tell you that you've lost your ride, and, you just see the other driver's name on the roof, makes you wonder. No, it was all my fault. Had a little technical issue, and was trying to get Danny another car, and I goofed. But hey, we were having fun. That was really a good race Thursday night, and of course, my first time of getting to lead a race on TV, and you don't even have my name.
And that's what's just the kicker there is I heard after the fact when I seen you in TeamSpeak, I said, so why was there Rob out there with us tonight? And I hear it was you out there in the 57, so I just completely shake my head and pound my head, just beat my head against the wall on that one. But we're here in Atlanta tonight, the GN70 mod. This seems to be a lot of fun. You were just involved out there in a record, Ricky, that unfortunately put him around. Are we at Daytona or are we Atlanta tonight? How's that thing driving out there?
Like a tank. The guys behind me, I had about 3 lap fresher tires, and that's like worth 2/10 already after 3 laps here tonight. And when Fugate got beside me, he got loose, and I checked up and it got me loose, and it had everybody trying to charge around me, and I feel bad. Ricky was just to my outside, and I got into one, and it pushed up a little bit. But it is definitely all draft dependent tonight.
Well, Rob, thanks for being a good sport with us. Thanks for taking a couple of words. And you guys got your hands full, about to go green, so I'll let you get back to it. But good luck the rest of the night, bud.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Rob Keller, the number 57. Had to do a little bit of house cleaning duty out there after Thursday night's 358 Dirt Modified race at DuQuoin. We are back to green flag racing, as I believe we see a desktop out there on the screen. So we're waiting for the tractor beams to fly back into the Atlanta Motor Speedway as you get a glimpse behind the scenes live on YouTube tonight. You missed all the fun that we've been having trying to get this live picture out to you all this evening. And I think for the most part, we've got all the gremlins kind of sorted out, but you're seeing live in a living color what things look like in the Full Velocity TV booth. So as we're back to green,
behind
Jeff,
the scenes here.
This is the full tour here tonight, there, Josh. You're seeing the full on. When something goes awry, you fix it on live TV. It took all I could figure out to even get that stream to even appear live. So trying to get all our tickers back to line when that all went down. But all I know was we're halfway home here in Atlanta. Jeff Fugate leading Ron Simpson with Jeff Rogers, Rich Nappick, and Rob Heath, your current top five. Brendan Spatafora, sixth. Herman Reese now up to seventh. Roger Nebelsick, eighth. Ryan Johnson, ninth. And Austin LaPlante is 10th. What I can see here is everybody from seventh on back all came to pit road for four tires, and why not?
Yes, looks like that with Rod, being back to the eighth place row, this definitely that kind of shook the crowd up here. We're, about halfway through the race now. So, now we're just going to start thinking about fuel strategy and what that stuff means. Rob told us that make a big difference. So, I think every time we get a chance, they're going to come in for tires here. But, are we going to start seeing 2-tire stops, 4-tire stops, fuel only, those kind of things, as we get closer towards the last third of the race or so?
Well, I think when Rob just said that coming in and taking tires that, we're even 3 laps newer, I think he was kind of onto something because I can observe right away. I'm out there watching Herman Reese and Roger. Those guys all just come in taking 4 tires. Ryan's number 78. Those guys all just in. They've got a lot more grip on the track. They're out there racing tooth and nail right now with Rob's 38 and Brendan at 37 racing for 5th on back. But you can see the 4 tires are going to work. Track position plays so much of a key here, too, because Fugate and Ron and Jeff and Nappick, for that matter, the top 4, they started to check out for the field again. So you want those 4 fresh Goodyears under you, but track position in a place like in Atlanta when it seems to kind of be tough to pass here tonight, track position almost seems like it means everything.
Yeah, absolutely. You might end up burning those tires up real quick trying to get around the traffic if you need to. So definitely want to keep an eye on that. And these guys, again, towards the end of the race, might have to make some strategy calls on whether or not to take tires or to just go ahead and stay up front and hope they can pull away. I'll be curious to see if the times start leveling out after 5 to 10 laps, if the tire wear then kind of levels the field out, or if it just keeps dropping more and more and more the entire run.
And that will be something we can see as this one kind of seems like it may have a green flag feel to it now. Working lap number 54 of 99. Fugate's out with the lead with Ron Simpson. Jeff Rogers right there, a 3-car breakaway. 4th car in line is Harley-Davidson, car number 6 of Rich Nappick. He's got about 6 car lengths between himself and that top 3. And then it's a big gap to about 2.5 seconds between our 4th place running Nappick and the number 37, Spatafora Firearms. Number 37 of Brendan Spatafora. Give Brendan a shout out, a proud sponsor to us here on Full Velocity TV. As I say that, Brendan's car gets a little tad bit loose. Here comes Herman Reese on the outside. Herman with those 4 tires. The fastest guy tonight here in Atlanta. Herman Reese, he's up to P5, and we know Herman's quick. He's got 2 seconds to run down if anybody can. Watch for that 73. He's got a good piece.
Yeah, he's going to be quick, and he's also going to know how to take care of those tires. So if there's anybody on the track here that knows how to manage the tire wear to gain on the leaders but not wear those tires on, it's going to be that 73. He's going to know what to do to get that time back up. But I think he's going to need help. He's going to need a drafting partner because we've heard the draft makes a big difference tonight.
Oh, absolutely right. So, and already right last time around, it was 2.7 seconds. It's now a little under 2.6. So, Herman's able to chase down at 10th. There is those top 4 racing up front. It's almost like a 3-car tease up there. Fugate, Simpson, and Rogers definitely get a little 3-car breakaway. About 4 car lengths back. Nappick's kind of trying to hold on. You can see how the draft is kind of playing a role here. You wonder if Rich's car may be a little tad bit off, or is Rich a KG veteran? We've seen Rich win a ton of races here before. Is he just kind of back there riding and letting laps log? As we've had a lot of yellow plague this race. What do you think Rich is doing there? Just kind of coasting there in 4th.
Yeah, this time of the race, you think you just kind of ride it out for a little while and maybe let that 73 get up to you and work together and help yourself draft each other back up to the lead pack and let them, maybe wear their tires a little bit faster. I run a little bit too hard here early in this run.
Well, absolutely here, and I'm watching that interval close down. It was 2.6 one lap ago. It was down to 2.4, and last time around here as I click past the start-finish line, 2 seconds flat for Herman Reese, currently running 5th. So right now, ideally, appears to be the fastest car on the racetrack is Herman Reese. That 4-car breakaway up front, it may become 5 here soon, as Herman and also Ryan Johnson, 78. Those guys are broken away from Darrell Brown and Roger Nevillesick. So what is a 4-car break up front may become a Super 6s off of turn number 4. It's about 5 car lengths between Herman and Rich. That Fab 4 up front, I think officially, I think in about a lap or so, it's going to be just an even 6.
Yeah, I think they hear the Jaws theme coming up behind them.
All right, well, I can see the live feedback up there. I see the ticker rolling. We got a lap count going up here in the booth. I think we're almost all systems a go here live on Full Velocity TV. See Everett's checked into the chat box. I see Harry's out there. Judy and the ladies out there. Saw Beto check in. Thanks for the behind-the-scenes look here at what goes on at Full Velocity TV when stuff goes amiss. And it did 5 minutes before airtime. It was a scramble to put us up to the airwaves, and we're back to it now. I think you guys will be able to lock in for these last 40 laps and enjoy it. Now a position change amongst the ranks in the top 4. Herman Reese chased down Rich Knappick. Move Herman Reese now back up to P4. Now a race for the lead as Ron Simpson. He's to the inside of Jeff Fugate. Put Ron on points leader. He's going to go up to the first spot as they exit turn 4.
What are you doing, man? Almost.
So now Simpson going to take himself up to the lead over Fugate. Jeff Rogers riding right there on the tire tracks in 3rd. Herman Reese has chased these down, just down in the top 4 as Rogers going to swing to the inside of Fugate heading into turn number 3. Herman going to roll off there, just kind of ease that throttle. It's kind of, it's still kind of early, even if we're 2/3 the way in. Let that all ride. Fugate slides up the racetrack. Rogers going to dance on by. Here comes Herman to the low side. A drag race down the front straightaway. You got to think here without fresher tires. Inside lane's got to prevail. It certainly does. Herman Reese, our pole sitter. Josh, he's up to P3. Jaws music cued. He's on the roll.
Yeah, he's gonna. I think he's on the way to the front, and I think if anybody has the right mind, they'll just hang on behind him and follow him to the lead because he's gonna take you to the front today.
Oh, he certainly is, and he's bringing the 78 of Ryan Johnson with him. Ryan has just followed him right in his tire tracks, put the 78 now up to P5, and he's going to move to the inside also now of a 91 of Rogers, just as Herman Reese has. Herman Reese going to look for the 2nd spot, put him up to P2. Ryan Johnson now up to P3 this video. That was Ron Simpson that fell out of the lead there. Jeff Rogers now up to the lead off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. It is Rogers leading Reese, and now Ryan Johnson up to 3rd. Ryan going to take a run into turn number 3. He almost takes the spot from Herman. He falls back in line. Ryan maybe a little tad bit faster than Herman right now. At this point, with 63 laps in, do you have any more patience left to give? It kind of seems too early, Josh, to go right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think you got to be careful because from what we've been seeing, it looks like if you run those tires a little bit too much, get those tires a little too hot, it's going to cost you. So I think both those guys are veterans. I think they're going to, they might try and get by the leader here, but then they'll play a little cat and mouse game and make sure that they keep the tires cool and not burn them up before this last run here. I don't know how much fuel they need to get to the end, but I have to imagine there's at least one more pit stop going to happen tonight.
Yeah, they restarted right around halfway, so you got to think at least one more here in Atlanta. If my guess is that somewhere probably 30 to 35 they're going to get out of a tank here, and we'll see if tires last like that. Because as I said, 0.2 of a second here on about 3-lap-old tires. That's enough right there to make you think tire wear is going to come into effect. So Jeff Rogers currently leading Herman Reese towards turn number 3. Ryan in for 3rd with Ron Simpson 4th. Darrell Brown's up in the top 5. Darrell's the guy here recently at Hobo. He's kind of been on fire. A couple of feature wins and up in the top 5. Downtown Darrell Brown, he is on the move.
Absolutely. He and I, he put a great race last Thursday with him. He was right on me the whole last 15-lap run there we had with a couple cautions thrown in. I knew that if I made a mistake, Darrell was right there to take the win from me. And he knows how to put the pressure on you, that's for sure. He's not going to make mistakes.
No, certainly not here. You see now up front, looks like Herman been able to sneak himself to the low side of Jeff, so put Herman Reese, our pole sitter, now up to the lead. Brought the 78 of Johnson Williams. These cars starting to slide through the turns here, 3 and 4. You hear Ron's tires just squealing through the corner. Jeff now back to 4th in a 91. Tires starting to give up. You see Darrell Brown's 86 now to the inside of Jeff. So You thought Jeff was in a comfy spot with the lead with some track position. You can see it as our laps wear out. We're only 16 laps into a run. You can already see right in front of you with what 2-lap fresher tires could do.
Absolutely.
Jeff's already fallen on a top 5 run, starting to fall back there. Another car that shot up the outside like a cannon. It was Roger's 51 car. Who let Roger go that fast?
Yeah, I'm watching it. Herman did it and with passing the 91, but then I think Roger too. You watch him run a little bit up a lane and a half, and then come down and get that momentum build up in the corner. And that's, I think, what gave Herman the momentum to get under the 91. And I think Roger's doing a similar thing back there and getting good solid runs down the straightaways. And that's helped him catch up with the leaders. Yeah,
absolutely right. And you know who else is kind of just hovering on that periphery up front? It's now a 7-car race up front, and we found old Steve Rubino's 21. Steve's been putting some really good solid runs here recently. He has followed Darrell right up to that lead group. Rogers was up there as well. Steve Rubino, that Hobo Racing number 21, having a really solid run, and it's finally, because every time we see Steve on the airwaves, a good run, it almost seems some kind of pesky mechanical issue falls that guy. Finally, he's having a good solid run on Full Velocity TV.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's, another person we want to look out for. I think he's been trying maybe saving his tires a little bit. Might be able to work himself up here in top 3-4 positions and put himself in position for maybe a server, so he's calling play-by-play from the stream. Get him up front. Well, you never know what Steve might have under his sleeve there.
Well, the car's doing really good. It's handling well. 70 laps of 99 in. So for all the issues and the follies we've had here behind the scenes and whatnot, I got to say, and we put our arm around and say thank you, Jack, for all the help here tonight. And I think our old buddy, Mr. Stanton. Toddy, are you down there with the headset on? All systems go down there in the booth. I know we've had a trying night. I know you came from the Lima Land Speedway with our buddies over at DWR as part of our double booking. Jack and I tried to do our best to hold the fort down over here. Think we missed the first 15 laps here trying to figure out how to get the stream to load. The OBS, the stream was going. Whatever reason, it wasn't connecting out to the airways. So that's how we figured that all out. I think we crashed the entire system down there. So you had to come do a little bit of program reboot. But welcome to the show. I'm glad you get over here to kind of save our butt. That was to Todd, but maybe he is going to ignore me now. And this is pretty normal.
In the lead now here, so we'll see. Rogers looks like he's got taking a look at Herman here, run a little bit higher line, trying to get a run down the straightaways. So I think maybe we might see a battle for second here just momentarily.
Well, we certainly will, but now we have the way of the land of green flag pit stops. I see Steve Rubino coming onto pit road. What is going to be 4 tires. Looks like Brendan Spatafordis came in for 4 tires. Brendan was up in the top 10. Going to be a 4-tire pit stop here for the Hobo Racing number 21 of Steve Rubino, pitted way down toward like the middle part of pit road. So it was a short distance in. Going to take him a little bit of trek to get out here. 70 miles per hour, the pit road speed. Steve's going to rejoin the race. He was up in the top 6. We'll see how much time he loses. I guess it was just about time for these guys to come to pit road. Is now on lap number 73. Wouldn't you know it, Josh? A caution on the racetrack. Caution flags come out, and these guys that just went down pit road. Fugate also just came down. I think Napick was just on pit road. These guys all now may lose a lap here. Pitting, how many times have you seen that before? You come down pit road, and that caution in the middle of green flag pit stops, it throws a wrench in the entire field.
Absolutely. And you think that probably Steve, if I was in Steve's position, probably would have made a similar call where I come down maybe a lap or 2 early, maybe 3 laps early, try and get a couple laps of green flag tires on you, pull away a little bit, maybe get a little bit of a lead, but then you make that commitment and then a caution comes out and bites you. Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Steve and the guys that pitted because they're going to be caught here. They'll get the wave around, so they'll get the lap back, but they'll be in the back end of the field now, which will be unfortunate for Steve, who had a real good run going.
I think by measure of good fortune where the pace car was when the yellow came out, I think it's going to save Steve's bacon. I think it may keep on a lead lap. I think the first car that may fall 1 lap down may be Rich Napick at number 6. So
we got Herman. What's going on with Herman here? Looks like Herman, I'm not sure. I'll just watch the stream there. Herman lost control going into 3 under caution, spun, got hit. I'm not sure what happened there with the 73.
Oh, no, I'm going to go back and take a look at this as well. definitely. Wow, good catch on your end there. I'm going back here. You're watching through the stream, and I'm here in the server, and sometimes the stream picks up more than we can find. So great catch right there as he just kind of waddles down the backstretch toward
Yeah.
turn 3, and for whatever peculiar reason, that car takes it as a dead left, and
that has a look of a crashed desktop or a wheel calibration issue. Something that's very, very abnormal for anybody, but especially for Herman there. That's strange.
almost, yeah, as one of those, faults of desktop. Maybe the wheel kind of fell off in your lap. Not exactly sure what happened to Herman there, but definitely the car did a little do, got down to the apron, got sideways, about spun it around, and Austin LaPlante got into him, stacked up a couple of guys. So yeah, we don't see things like that happen to Herman Reese often, but it certainly did there under the caution flag. So we saw the yellow come out just in the middle of the green flag pit stops, and now shenanigans, for the 73 of Herman Reese, and I don't see him or his wherever he disappeared to out of my view here on the low side of 1 and 2 when he spun around. He's still back here on the racetrack, so I'm not sure if he's going to lose any track position. He's second in line, so we'll have to wait and see. All I do know is those guys up front will probably all have to come to pit road, and I think the winner of this one off of that cycle may end up going all the way back to Steve Rubino, who somehow may cycle himself all the way back to the lead.
That absolutely could be the case. Yeah, I mean, I guess this track is just big enough to where if you pit, you can get off maybe in front of that pace car, in front of that leaders they come around. So maybe a big break here for Steve. I mentioned earlier he might have a trick up his sleeve, and this might be a trick that he wasn't planning on, but it sure looks like it's going to work out for him.
Well, it looks like it certainly may, and asking for the lap count out there, we are on lap number 75 of 99, so we're just about under the last 25 laps here, slowed by the 6 caution flag in the event, watching lap number 75 go right in the middle of a run of green flag pit stops. Rich Knappett got trapped a lap down, Brendan Spadafora a lap down, Jeff Fugate, I believe he was up at the top 8 or 10 when he had come to pit road, and I'm also now starting to wonder, I didn't catch where the caution happened there, the incident to bring us under yellow, and I'm kind of starting to wonder if it was not Fugate. Is he still trapped 1 lap down all the way back in 19th? So we may have another developing story here. We saw Herman go around under caution. I'm going to go back and see if we can chase down the story of the 9 car, because something definitely peculiar kind of happening there as well.
Yeah, if I had to make a bet here, if we were starting to see green flag pit stops, a lot of times what happens is these guys come down to pit lane, and you got old, worn-out tires, and you might just lose it coming into pit lane and bring out the caution. We see it time and time again at Daytona and Talladega, those big tracks, and that could be what happened here. We'll have to see. But that also is part of that risk when if you stop early before the rest of the field, you might get bit by that, where guys then lose it coming on pit road with these worn tires.
Well, can definitely report the 9 car certainly went around off the turn number 2, just off the exit of pit road 2. He had just exited pit road on cold tires, and I'm not sure if there was help or if it just got loose, or I think it was just kind of all by himself. That car kind of D-died. Yeah, exactly what happened. Got on the low side of 1 and 2, back of the throttle, and it stepped out, and there was no saving it. And it was right in front. I believe it was a Joey Sigmund's car that snuck on by. I think Steve Grant was back there, and those guys all sneaking around. So that's exactly what happened. Jeff had come to pit road to put 4 tires on it, and those cold tires leaving pit road wasn't even a lap off the entry, maybe about half a lap in. It just got really light off the exit of 2 on 1 lap through, and it went around. Now we have more issues here under the caution flag. More cars going around. I catch this off the 9 cars view, and so I think it might have come, if they got a restart here or what was ever happening there, guys catching up or whatever, but somebody got tagged, and it looks like it was the 14 of DJ Hinsky got turned around, and I'm not sure if there was help there. They were just getting up to pace speed under caution. Exactly. He let up, and it was Rob Keller in the 57 just got right in the back of the 14, set the 14 car around. This is all happening on the pace lap. We're wrecking all over the place.
That's unfortunate. That there's nothing that will make a guy a little more, any madder than getting spun under caution. So I don't know what happened, but I'm going to guess we're going to have a little conversation after the race about whatever just happened on that one.
And it was just strange. I mean, we're pacing out here at 70 miles an hour. It's definitely faster than I think we're used to here, especially with the caution laps. Cold tires, weird, bigger style race cars than I think we're all accustomed to night after night. And just for whatever reason, it looked like that, I don't know if Keller got a little bit, didn't judge where the stop was going to happen there. But, yeah, either way, there was contact. A fugate piled in the back. That's where I first saw the contact there. I saw a DJ going around Dion on the 14 off the bumper of the 57. It's just happening all over the place. Under green, under yellow, on pit road. Here on Full Velocity TV, where you've seen a lot of desktop and a lot of weird things happening tonight. It's just happening strange all over. But all I know, I think I see lights may go out next time. No, maybe not. So at least one more time around. Working lap number 79 of 99. So a 20-lap shootout. Somehow, some way through all this, Steve Rubino has ended up with the race lead over Ryan Johnson, Herbert Reese, Daniel Dupuis, and our point leader, Ron Simpson, currently running 5th. 6th is Steve Grant. Darrell Brown is 7th. Ricky Bumbelow 8th. Jeff Rogers 9th. Joey Sigmund 64 car up in the top 10. Rich Snappick with the wave around. He's back up to 11th. Roger Nebelsick is 12th. Brendan Spadafora 13th. Duke Sorensen 14th. And Mike Halgrimson currently running in 15th on the lead lap. Bob Becker is 16th. DJ Hinsky is 17th. Rob Keller is 18th. Those drivers are all on the lead lap. One lap down, we find Austin LaPlante, Rob Heath, and Jeff Fugate. Those guys running 19th through 21st, respectively. 22nd behind the wall is old Danny Rubino. Wild Bill, 23rd. Manny Diaz, 24th. And Evan Castle rounded out our 25 cars that took the green flag here just about an hour ago. We've got it here on lap number 15 on the live feed, so we apologize to these guys at Hobo and apologize to all you out there, our viewing public that comes out here to watch every night. We're live here exclusively on YouTube this evening, and it's been a night of follies for us. It's been a night of follies on the racetrack. I've got Josh Boyer here alongside joining us, just beaming in tonight live from Frisco, Texas down there, so great to have Josh. And Josh doing it from, I guess you could say, the bird's eye blip view. You're relying on the stream, so you've got to follow along live and in living color. Whatever, a night of struggles that Full Velocity TV can have, you're seeing it live unfold right in front of you. You thought this was a whole big-time professional operation. You can see when things come unraveled quickly. You got to follow along with the whole catastrophe.
Yeah, you have to look outside and see if there's a full moon out there. It's kind of strange. Everything happened tonight with all these weird things happening on the track. I'm really curious to see what some of the guys will say after this, especially whoever ends up winning this race. In some ways, it's going to be a little bit of a survival, it looks like, with these tires and everything else that's going on tonight. So we'll see how this run goes to the end. I think Steve's got a good piece out
18.
there, but you got that 78 and 73 right behind him. They're fast, and he knows it. So be curious to see how this last 20 laps goes.
Absolutely right. We're getting ready now to come to the restart here. Working lap number 81, 82 going to pop on the long of lap number 99 of a distance here. So we're going to have about 18 laps to go. The field working its way through turns number 3 and 4. Steve Rubino, Ryan Johnson, Herman Reese, Daniel Dupuis, and Ron Simpson going to bring the field up in the top 5. You can hear them coming up through just pacing at turn number 3 and 4. You can hear the engines revving. So the pace speed here tonight, a little bit quicker than I think even some of these guys can anticipate. You just hope nobody is starting in first gear, maybe really spins these tires on the restart. How many times have we all done that before there, Josh? You come restart, you start in first gear, you mat it, you spin the tires, and you wreck half the field. That's one of those things that weird things happen.
I just did that last week somewhere. I had it first gear and got a little bit loose on that start. That'll wake you up, let me tell you.
Oh, well, I'm sure they're all awake now. We're back to Green Flag Racing here in Atlanta. I appreciate Todd Stanton's expertise tonight. Was going to bring him into the conversation, but I think he just put the headset down. It's been a long night for all of us. It's been an all day of working, live streaming here, 2 ways here tonight. As he was over with our buddy Justin Fuller filling it over tonight at Dirt Warrior Racing. Jack and myself and Josh over here tonight holding the fort at Hobo, and you guys have followed along with all the good stuff happening here. But now up front, a wreck up amongst the leader, Steve Rubino going around right in front of the field, right in front of Ryan Johnson, right in front of Herman Reese, right in front of it, looking like a 24 of Dupuis. Steve Rubino around. Caution flag going to come back on the speedway. Lap number 83, right up there wrecking with the lead. Steve played the gamble. Got that lucky, strike of luck there coming into the pits, being on the tail end of the lead lap, leaving pit road, gaining the lead off the track position and off of turn number 2. Car gets real light loose. Around he goes and right in front of the field. And miraculously enough, I think he just spun it around. I'm not sure anybody got collected into it. That is heads-up driving by all the guys over here at Hobo. What could have been just a big, just chain wreck up front. Only it looked like one car go around. That's a lucky break.
That looked interesting. Again, I'm watching the stream here, so you're calling it. So I know what to look for as it happens. And it looked like he just lost the back end of it off of 4 there. You saw on the stream here, he came up then from the low side. So I think he started to lose it, went down low, caught it, and then just spun it back up around the track. And I'm not sure if looks like the 78 and everybody else got around him. So hopefully it was just one car accident there, and Steve can get some new tires on her, and maybe the other guys might be pitting too, for new tires even. So it might not hurt him too bad.
I just went in the in-car view with Herman Reese, and holy crap, he spun right up in front of him. And I'm not sure how Herman found the room of real estate between Rubino's car sliding in the outside wall. I'm not sure if Herman maybe kissed that thing a little bit, but either way, Steve Rubino going around in front of the field, putting us under caution on lap number 84. Full Velocity TV here, live coverage from Hobo Racing. The GNS 1970 series coming on. Race number 4 of the year. Sounds like a really fun mod to be a part of. Sounds like a really good schedule. And we show the replay back, everybody out there. You can see Steve getting a little tad bit loose on the bottom. I know we caught it here live on the live screen, but to go back and relive this in slow-mo here, watching that car kind of just take that long, elongated slide, and you see all those guys scatter behind. Wow. That's all I can say. There's wow.
That's an interesting place. It just really kind of midway in the track. It wasn't really high, wasn't real low. It was right in that middle lane, which you would think is the most stable place to be on the track. And that back end just swings out from him, and it was like he catches the inside Armco there, and it shoots him back up. So I think that 21's probably got more damage than we think after that.
And if you had a brilliant word there, you said of that, Armco barrier.
Yeah, there's an old word.
So many of these old school tracks back in the day were covered with Armco barrier, and I think a lot of the reason you see the old school tracks of the 70s get away from that and go to the concrete style, and now a lot of them, most of them all now covered with safer barriers everywhere, was that the Armco surface, not only did it serve as a canopy to the race cars, but when it was done cutting, it spit them back into racetrack traffic just like that. That was never safe. You see Steve spinning like that, and you can only imagine the way those guys didn't have those safety devices back there in the mid-70s and 80s and even through the 90s. You got to imagine a guy taking a hit through the Armco barrier and bouncing back up into traffic like that. I just can't imagine. It was a different style of breed back in the day to be a race car driver and, basically just get tossed around. Those guys weren't secured in like they are now.
Oh, basically they had a lap belt on them, back in these days. I mean, I think these cars here are based on just after they started even putting the window nets in. After I think it was Petty's wreck back in his late 60s, early 70s, where his arms were coming out of the car, which is why we have the window nets. If you ever look at that video on YouTube, so the safety innovations that we have today in our just our normal cars, all came from what these guys went through back in the 60s and 70s, and their safety equipment is made ourselves our everyday cars. And but yeah, those Armco barriers, they would tear you up, that's for sure.
Tore up a 21 car for sure, and I don't know, some stroke of luck that these guys didn't pile back in. Steve has come to pit road. Rob Keller's been in. Roger Nebelsick in for 4 tires. Rich Napick was down. Ricky Bumbelow, Daniel Dupuis, Austin LaPlante. Those guys all come down to take 4. I believe this time around we're going to get back under green flag racing. 86 of 99 up in the book. It's going to be Ryan Johnson going to bring us back to green with Ron Simpson, Herman Reese, Steve Grant, and Darrell Brown going to make up your top 5. I thought it was only before too long before we talked to names like Steve and like Darrell up there amongst those top 5 or 6. Don't count those guys out. They're fast. Those are guys that won races here recently. Steve and Darrell know their way around, especially Steve. I know he's picked up a couple of wins here at Hobo in the last couple of weeks. Steve Grant, keep an eye on the 11 car.
Yeah, we definitely could see a lot of different scenarios pan out here. We got these top 3, I think, are fast, and they might pull away a little bit here, but, cautions breed cautions. And, if we go green at the end, I think we might see that these top 4 or 5 guys probably end up in victory lane. But if we see more cautions here, tire strategy is going to be a big part. Some guys will take some risks. It could get real interesting here as we get the last 12 laps or so in.
Absolutely right. And as they work their way through 3 and 4 here now, off the opening lap of the restart. 87 of 99 on the board. Now a big wreck off of Tournament 4. Holy smokes. I think that was a 25 of the 73 up in a cloud of smoke, hard on the outside wall. And I don't know if you've seen it yet, Josh, but you wait till you see. Big thunderous wreck off of Tournament 4. And
just now getting on my screen here back straight along to see if I can see what happens here.
Oh, buddy, it's huge. It's who was that second car in line? Was that
25?
25.
The exact same thing. That's almost what happened to Steve Rubino just happened to the 25. It was almost the exact same thing coming in about 2/3 of the way through the corner. Back end steps out, and wow, the 73 got the worst of that. He is junk. Wow.
Oh, destroyed. Absolutely just junk. I know Jack's going to go back here and throw it here on a full velocity TV replay. Going to just hands off to Jack. Jack's doing a great job down there as we learn him through the ropes here. It's just old Sim is a finicky thing to broadcast as he has had to learn here on the fly here tonight. But you can see Ron's 25 car going to step out here loose on the back end and it is going to catch the 73 of Herman Reese. And it was on from there. It collected a whole lot more than Herman. I think you're going to see, wow, I know Ron definitely was junk. Did I see Roger get a small piece of this? I can't believe more guys didn't get more of this wreck. Ron definitely got junked. Herman's car junked. You see a little bit of bumper cars through the back.
Dion,
of the field.
yeah, the 14
Dion got a
took
little
a big
bit in the
piece 14. Of it here.
Look at like, Herman's car. He was airborne up above the fence. I mean, we're dishing out pilot's licenses here. We get the FAA on display, and
yeah,
just because these cars have a couple of wings on them doesn't mean they want to fly.
yeah. Whoever just posted the little ambulance emojis on the chat, you're absolutely right. I think Herman's hurting after that. But I tell you what, it looks like it really those three were the three that got the worst end of it there. The rest of them might a little bit of touching a little bit here and there, but it looks like it was mostly just a 3-car major incident there. So I think all three of them are done, though. I can't imagine they got anything left.
Yeah, I could definitely see, Herman's night is done. Ron's night definitely done. Those two cars destroyed. Not sure how Dion's going to fare in the 14 cars. He's going to come on to, you're going to roll that thing limping on the pit road. That the back end is caved in, the front end is caved in. Even the wing is bent. You get one of the wings on the supercharger is bent. That's just a sorry
yeah.
out there.
Yeah, that was Herman almost got into Steve with the last one, and this time he couldn't do anything about it. That time it was just right in front of him, had nowhere to go. Unfortunate for the 73, who I think had sights on the 78 here, but now it looks like we got looks like the 78, and is that Dupuis the second 24 maybe? I can't remember who that second car is there.
Yeah, definitely Dupuis' 24 car got a piece of that too.
Yeah, so takes out some good contenders here. So now we got some guys now that have a chance here to win that didn't have a chance about 5 minutes ago.
That is a fact. We're under 10 laps to go here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and heavy cleanup going on in the back straightaway. A big wreck between Ron Simpson and Herman Reese. DJ Hinsey got a big piece of it. Daniel Dupuis got a big hit there as well with 24. And staggering the way these cars get loose off the exit of turn number 2. It's been wrecks at the front part of the field. It's mind-blowing to me that we haven't tore up more race cars than we have. I mean, the potential was there to wreck the entire top 5, maybe the entire top 10. And somehow by the great driving, these guys are skilled. The guys at HOBO are great wheelmen. These guys do it night after night in a big way. And you can see the experience these guys have dodging a wreck like that, which is never easy because when that smoke starts flying, you kind of drive blindly into the smoke, and sometimes you come out the other side, and sometimes you just don't. I mean, ask Ron.
Yeah, very, very much a Days of Thunder moment there for a lot of those guys. But I tell you what, they checked up. I was noticing that a lot of those guys to the back of the pack, they came to almost a dead stop there on that front straightaway. This straightaway here, these old tracks, the inside wall, outside wall, there's not a whole lot of room there. And you get a couple cars sideways, and it will completely block that track. So they did a good job, I think, of staying out of it and not just hammer it forward, like Colt Trickle would,
Absolutely right. So waiting to see, are we going to get lights out this time? Our lights out, and frantically scrolling back on here is trying to cover all the stories and just nothing really. Tatella was down there monitoring. There's a 14-car engine off. Looks like we are got the pace car coming down on pit road, making a left-hand turn. Going to put us back under the green flag. Lap 92 of 99 going to come to the board. So 7 laps remaining here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Ryan Johnson going to lead Steve Grant, Darrell Brown, Jeff Rogers, and Joey Sigmund. We are back to green here at Atlanta through turns number 1 and 2. Ryan going to run the low side of the racetrack. Steve Grant going to migrate up high. Darrell Brown, the 86, is going to take the middle difference. He'll run the middle side of the racetrack. You can hear these guys baby it through turn number 1 and 2. You got to think there, Josh, the way these guys have seen these last 2 wrecks happen right at the front of the field, you got to think these guys are creepy crawling and just lightly just easing it through the corners.
That's exactly right. I was just thinking I think those last 2 restarts, maybe they were running it flat out thinking that the cars would stick, and it just wasn't. So I think we'll see a little bit change of style here to be a little bit safer these first couple laps to make sure those tires get warmed up.
Unfortunately, can report Dion Hinsky's night, DJ's night's got to be done. And the number 14, that car was just thoroughly destroyed, and the damage is too terminally severe in these closing moments to fix it. So DJ going to finish up 20th. Ron Simpson, Herman Reese also behind the wall there. Ryan Johnson out to the race lead when a race for second. Jeffrey Rogers at number 91. He's come to the inside. He's past Darrell Brown, and now he's around Steve Grant. Put Jeff Rogers up to P2. He may have some fresher tires. He may take a run at Ryan Johnson. They drag racing at turn number 3. It's 1 car length of a 78 back to the 91, but Jeff looks to be a tad bit quicker on those fresher tires.
Yeah, he had going back. He's able to hold that car down low and get a good run off the corner. So I think he might have something for the 78 here.
Well, he's going to try to drive to the low side of the number 1, and Ryan going to slam that door shut. Now he's going to slide it up the hill, going to open the door. Here comes Jeff to the low side. They are going to drag race here down the front straightaway. Johnson going to take the momentum on the high side. And he's going to maintain the lead. Going to slam the door shut on the 91 as Jeff may try to go up to the high shelf. He's going to have to fall back in line. That's going to bring Steve Grant back into the race as well. Steve there running the high side of the racetrack. And then number 11 currently running 3rd. Darrell Brown's up to 4th of the 86 of Joey Sigmund. Just kind of riding there a distant 5th, just watching all this happen up front. Ryan's got the lead this time around. 96 of 99 going to go to the board. Jeff having those fresh tires, Ryan may need to make that car about an extra two or 3 lanes wide if he's going to hold the 91 behind.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting finish here. I think they're both searching around, trying to find momentum, trying to find a line here. So this could get real interesting.
Well, it is certainly interesting. And right now we have a race going on for the win up here up front. 96 laps going on the board with a 78 of Ryan Johnson leading. The 91 of Jeff Rogers in for second. The race now is for 3rd between Steve Grant and the number 11, the number 86 of Darrell Brown. Darrell keeps trying to peek that car down to the low side, just trying to find all the running room he can around this 1.5 mile Atlanta Motor Speedway. Old school 1970 version here tonight. Now, yellow flag going to come out the speedway. Yellow on the racetrack, and this may be the race back to the line for the win. And I think unofficially here in the 3 and 4, Ryan Johnson going to slam the door shut on the number 91 of Jeff Rogers off 3 and 4. Jeff going to make one more trek up to the top shelf. Can he find horsepower as they drag race down to the line? It's going to be the 70 of Ryan Johnson. He's going to take the yellow at 2 to go. So with all intents and purposes, Josh, that probably is going to end this race under yellow.
Yep, absolutely. And Ryan, man, he held off that 91 really strong because I think he might have had something for him, but a good racing by the 78 to hold him off. I'm trying to see what might have caused that caution. I don't see anything going on in the back of the field. I'm not sure what happened.
Look for
there.
The 62
but
and
the 91 got to him there heading 3, didn't he? He got to his rear bumper. He almost got him.
He was right there. I mean, they were having a really good race for it, and you know, I think if they had another lap, I think Jeff may have had another run at Ryan, as I think the tires were a little bit fresher. And we'll definitely have to ask Jeff there on the post-race show what he was thinking there. But Ryan Johnson somehow makes that car extra wide, able to hold them off on the fresher tire, the older tires rather, able to hold on to that track position out off of turn number 4 as they work their way behind the pace car here. We're going to get yellow flag and white on the speedway, as I believe Jack's got the caution overlay put up down there. We'll see what happened to put us under the caution flag, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen here right around where the 17 of Bob Becker was. The 62 of Mike Halgrimson, I believe, also may have got a piece of that, as I think I see the 85 may slide through this wreck as well. So we'll let Jack hit play on it, show you guys out there on YouTube live tonight. what's going on here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway as I'm just waiting back to the delay in our end. I feel like I'm with Josh here. I got the replay up, and I see the replay on delay, so just waiting and waiting and waiting. God, just here we go. As it pops up to the screen, you see the 62. We're up the racetrack. Just closed the door on Bob, and there was just no place to go, and pushed Rod into the right rear corner of the 62. I'm not sure what Bob could have did any different. There was looks like Mike just kind of ran him up the racetrack, and they just kind of ran out of room.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying to get the same place here. 17 might have came down just a hair off the wall, but yeah, one of those racing deals. I think the 62 didn't know if he was clear or not. Spotter might have told me was, but unfortunate because I think that might have robbed us from what could have been a real good finish here between the top two cars.
Sure could, as they're going to work their way behind the pace car here off of turn number 4. The yellow and the checkered flag going to go out over the field, and as long as Ryan Johnson does not pull a Mark Martin like I've done here a few times before, don't hit that retire button before the line. Ryan Johnson going to pick up the win here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway at Hobo. Gives second place to Jeff Rogers with Steve Grant third, Darrell Brown fourth, and Joey Sigmund with the top 5. Duke Sorensen in for 6th, with Brendan Spada for a 7th. Rich Knappich in for 8th. Roger Nebelsick 9th, and Austin LaPlante brings home a top 10. 11th, Rob Keller. 12th, Rob Heath. 13th, Daniel Dupuis. Jeff Fugate rebounds for 14th, and Steve Rubino finishes up 15th in the 21. It's going to be Ricky Bumbelow in for 16th. Pushrod for 17th. Mike Hopkinson will finish up 18th. Ron Simpson 19th. Dion Hinsky for 20th. Herman Reese 21st. Danny Rubino 22nd. Wild Bill 23rd. Manny Diaz 24th. And Evan Castle rounded out your 25-car field here tonight. It's been a great night of racing. It was a long night of racing here on Full Velocity TV. All the issues aside, doing the dual stream thing here tonight. But I think all intents and purposes aside, we saw all the great racing that was going on out there. And Josh Boyer, a thrill, my friend, to come along and play along. A lot of fun. Thanks for being a part of the show. Well-spoken guy. And safe travels out there. Have fun at the bowl game.
Hey, thanks, Matt. I really enjoyed tonight, and it was a lot of fun watching these guys and you know, just helping you out a little bit here tonight and watching along. And thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely right. Just love having extra hands along. Love bringing new voice into the conversation. Great to have Josh Boyer, and really appreciate him stepping up tonight and volunteering some time for us. That's always a great thing as we get to talk to more names, more faces here live on Full Velocity TV. So we'll move toward the post-race show. We'll run down to trackside here. We'll talk to Steve Grant, our third-place finisher. We'll talk to Jeff Rogers, who finished up second, and then we'll hightail it down toward Victory Lane. See if we can't talk to Ryan Johnson, of course. So I think we had Steve all sorted out, and whatever reason Steve has just eluded us. So we'll see if Steve Rogers don't quickly get reconnected. But either way, or Steve Grant, I should say, see if Steve Grant gets reconnected at car number 11. So we'll put a period on that for the time being. We'll run a little further down pit road, and we will go talk to the number 91 car of Jeff Rogers. Jeff had a terrific run here tonight in the 91 car. If you had that extra lap and a half there, if we didn't have that last yellow, fresher tires you had more than Ryan. Did you have the car to get around him?
I think I did. If I didn't have a car behind me, I definitely probably would have got him because I would have tried the outside, but I was afraid to try the outside because I thought maybe he would, tuck in and, get underneath me, and then I would never get by him. But, with the point situation and all that, so if I couldn't get around him on the inside, I wasn't getting around him because, I didn't want to try the top and risk it with the points the way they are. And I think I missed the race too, so I have some catching up to do.
Well, a second-place run is definitely a good way to catch up on some points there, Jeff. Out here tonight, old school field, the old school mod, the old school type Atlanta racetrack, really kind of slippery. Guys got some wings on some of these old superchargers. How do these old cars handle out there? They look to be a lot of fun to drive, but colder tires, they look to be a real handful.
Yeah, there's no, if you don't pit when everybody else pits, you're not really going to last long because it's like on ice. So you have to pit. I missed one pit stop and gained some track position, and luckily I think we had like a 3-lap run, so it really didn't hurt me that much. But every time the yellow flag comes out, you really got to come in because you're just on the edge the whole time.
And talk about those couple of late wrecks we had there. You guys, Steve wrecked up front. We saw Ron get on the apron, get into Herman. You had a really good view of both of those wrecks God, what were you thinking there, seeing those cars get loose in front of you? Because at that point, you really get no idea where those cars will end up.
No, I had no idea where they were ending up. I was just trying to, I knew that the Steve and all them, they were going towards the wall. They were flipping, towards the right. So I knew it would go low, but there was a car low. But he started rolling down the track, and I saw just enough to get by. I went right through the middle.
Well, Jeff, congratulations, my friend. A second place effort here. We'll let you catch up on some points. And believe the first time we've got you up here on the booth on Full Velocity TV. So what we always do here, I'm going to give you the mic one final time. Anybody out there watching tonight, we're live exclusively on YouTube. Friends, family, or sponsors out there, anybody to say hello to, the floor is all yours there, bud. Say hello to them all now.
My mom and my girlfriend Teresa. She might be watching. Pete Bergasiglio, and everybody at Riverhead Raceway. I know some of them are on Facebook watching, so I'd like to give them a shout out. And, I just wanted to say it was a great race, and Hobo Racing is a great place to come and race every Sunday night and Wednesday.
Oh, that's great to hear a couple of those names out. Pete Pernissiglio, a guy we go back a long way. His brother Derek, a longtime partner of mine as well. So great to hear those names pop up. Jeff, congratulations, my friend. Terrific job. We'll see you again soon here live on Full Velocity TV. Congratulations. Good run.
Thank you.
All right. Jeff Rotter is bringing home the 91 car home in second.
User was
Let him go back down there. And now I'll make the trek all the way over here to Victory Lane. And there's a pretty good little party happening down here. Got some bell bottoms happening down here, a little bit of whatever's happening. And somehow under a disco ball, we find an old friend, Mr. Ryan Johnson in Victory Lane here tonight in Atlanta. God, man, the seas just parted. That was a really good car, but there was some carnage all around you, brother. Tell us about that race.
There was. I honestly think Herman Reese had the car to beat. I was probably going to be second, maybe competitive on a long run finish. But I was running up there before all the carnage. But yeah, brought it home first and pretty happy about it.
Now tell us about, we definitely had to think a little more yellow than I think any of us anticipated having.
Right.
And every restart that makes the tires a little bit colder. The racetrack's already got a loose feel in it, especially off the exit of 2 and 4. How much did you pedal those cars through the corners on those last restarts, showing that Steven has spun out with the lead, that Ron and Herman got there, they had fresh tires, and they got loose on cold tires. What were you thinking those last couple of restarts as you eased that car through the corner?
Well, it was even just on the restarts. I was starting in second gear, and you really had to feather the throttle down. There was one restart where it kind of darted right on me. So it was more than just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 on that first lap. It kind of got a little bit happy on you. But kind of was expecting it. It was better. It wasn't so bad on a little bit worn tires because it had a little bit of heat in them, I guess you could say. But yeah, when you came in the pit, had cold tires, it was kind of tricky.
Now, Ryan, I know you're a points racer at your own right. You look in the point standings tonight. You come in third. You're 18 or 19 points behind Ron. Ron's involved in a big wreck. The guy you're chasing in points, Josh Boyer, well, he's sitting right here beside me here tonight. Yeah. So then you look, and you got Rob behind you who had a bad night. You got Herman who got tore up. Dion got tore up. I mean, overall, big picture-wise, points, brother. I mean, this puts you probably, if not in the point lead, pretty dang close. I mean, we're early on, but it's always nice to call yourself the point leader for at least 1 week.
It is, but I will miss next week. I'll be taking a provisional. Yeah, so it'll tighten all back up. I'll be leaving for Florida Saturday morning. So, and then come back. I'll be back for the race for the new year.
All right. Congratulations, my friend. Always good to catch up and talk to you. One of my closest friends this community has. But we're going to do this one more time. In Victory Lane, I'm going to give you the microphone. I know you got a lot of people out there to thank. Friends, family, sponsors. No, Mama Jill's down here. Mark Johnson's in Victory Lane. We've got to give her a kiss while we're down here. Salute all those guys out there watching and give the shout to whoever you got to thank out there.
Well, I want to thank HOBO Racing, good group of guys. FSB Racing, that's my home league. I thank you, Phil, for coming over Friday night and, giving a guest appearance there for a little bit during our little IROC deal on Friday. TDR Racing, ASR Racing, Afterburner Racing. Just love the NR 2003 racing community. Having a blast at this stuff. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm going to stick around as long as everyone's here to race. So, thank you for everyone.
All right. Well, Ryan, congratulations, brother, and stick around because I think there's some cool things coming in NR's future that may even bring some more life back to this old sim. So I won't give it away, but pay attention out there. You may see something to surprise you. Great job, brother. Congratulations on the win as always.
Thank you.
Good win, Ryan. Good job, brother.
Thanks, Josh.
All right. We'll let Ryan get down here and party with the family. I think I even see old Isaac down here floating around and going to get his butt out here to the racetrack once again. So got to thank all these guys over here at Hobo Racing, Steve and Danny, the entire gang over here. Got to thank this guy alongside, Josh Boyer. Terrific job. Always great to have a well-spoken guy up here like yourself for the conversation. Hope you had some fun up here. No, you don't have the by way of getting into the server to see the cameras and the whatnot, but watching through the live stream, I've done that before. It's not easy to do. Great job, my friend. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, it was a blast. Thanks for having me, and it was definitely unique. But it gave me a chance, actually, whenever you would say something happened, I could look out for it and try and get an early, look at maybe what happened. And good race by the Hobo guys tonight, and hopefully I can join them on the track next week and the next time you guys have us.
Well, we'll definitely be back. If these guys will have us, we'll be here for a long time. So thrilled to have you up here tonight, and great to always come back to Hobo. Definitely the home league of what I call NR 2003 broadcasting here on Full Velocity TV is these guys are the ones who bring us back to this community. They keep us very busy in it, and we're very thankful to that. So a lot of thank yous to give here tonight. Got to thank our sponsors, of course, Spatafora Firearms. You can't come over to Hobo and not thank Brendan for all he does for us. Got to thank DirtSeries.com. We'll have them on our airwaves once again tomorrow evening. And also got to thank the guys over at Evil One Graphics at Dirt Warrior Racing. They were on the airwaves just before us at 8:30. Got to thank Evil One Graphics. They're not only good, they are evil. Got a lot of thank yous out here tonight for Full Velocity TV. Our graphics guy, Martin Karch, our buddy Todd Stanton, who did double duty here tonight, got the stream over there running, and all the follies we had over here had to come make some beam into the trailer to help Jack it all down there. Got to thank Jack Truin for all his efforts. It's been a long day getting him up to running, and he's going to be a big part of what we do doing forward. And got to thank our buddy Jake Keel on the Full Velocity Radio side as well. A lot going on for the Full Velocity Media platform. So for all of those guys, I am Phil Lacasse. We will see you back here live tomorrow night. A twin bill of iRacing coming at you. We start the evening off over at DirtSeries.com, the Randomizer Challenge. We're live on the airwaves right around 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and then we take the beam over to the Lanier National Speedway. We return to Renegade Waste Spray Promotions for the weekly racing series there tomorrow night. Great racing action of the street stocks, the late models, and the UMP modified. So we will be there tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So for all of us here at Full Velocity TV, we say thank you and happy holidays. We'll see you back here tomorrow night live with more Full Velocity TV. Good night.